to match me today?
Oh, y'all think y'all see? Oh, we all got on blue. Look, y'all.
It's the blue side. There we go.
This the blue side.
It's the blue side.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. The time is now 7:30. This is the regular council meeting for May 23rd. Clerk, can you please do the roll call?
Councilwoman Aaron,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss,
I'm here.
Councilman Fleming, Councilor Rohrbach,
I'm here.
Councilman Soltis,
Here.
Councilor Wright,
Here.
Mayor Gravestein.
I am here. Thank you. May I please have a motion to excuse Councilman Fleming? He did give notice.
Your Honor,
Yes.
so moved.
Thank you. Can I have second?
Your Honor, I second.
Thank you. Motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against say no. Motion carries. Councilman Fleming is dismissed. Okay, so I am going to be doing the invocation and the pledge. I ask you to please stand if you are able. I pray for guidance to satisfy the needs that need to be met during this meeting. Strengthen us as we make tough decisions. Please guide us so that this meeting can be productive. Let us be effective and decisive. Even if we have differing opinions, give us unity of spirit. Help us to each listen politely as others share their points of view. Help us to work as a unified team in combining ideas for a greater outcome. Help us work as pieces of a whole rather than as individuals. May we have spirit of camaraderie in this room and work together on our shared vision. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up, we have approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions this evening?
Your Honor,
Councilor Rohrbach?
I move that we add the Gun Violence Awareness Day proclamation to presentations, please.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
That's right.
I'll support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded for this addition. Are there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Item is added. Are there any other additions or deletions? All right, seeing none, we will move on to the presentations. We have 4 of them this evening, starting with the 2022 Police Commendation Awards. Chief Haynes, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor and esteemed members of council. It is with great honor that I present the following awards this evening to many of our great police command officers, police officers, and police service aides. These awards were given for incidents that were responded to during calendar year 21. The first award this evening is given for the Police Command Officer of the Year for 2021, Sergeant Sean Schofield. Although he's not able to be here this evening, he had a family emergency. Towards the end of the day, I wanted to at least announce what he is being awarded for. Sergeant Schofield has been the department's training and property officer since 2017. During 2021, Sergeant Schofield continued to have involvement in the hiring process of new police officers and police service aides. Sergeant Schofield was critical in giving recommendations and working hands-on with new candidates, along with being a significant part of implementing the department's new recruitment unit. Sergeant Schofield was also very instrumental in researching and making recommendations for the purchase of new weapons for our officers, while continuing to maintain the highest standards with training in our property room. Sergeant Schofield has an outstanding work ethic and is commended for all the hard work he's continued to do to make the Madison Heights Police Department the best it can be. It's with honor that I present Sergeant Schofield with the Command Officer of the Year Award for 2021. The next award this evening is given for the 2021 Police Officer of the Year, Officer Jordan Rick. Officer Rick has been a police officer for the City of Madison Heights for about 10 years. Officer Rick has served in the following areas in our department: the Special Investigations Unit, Field Training Officer, Emergency Response Unit, Evidence Technician, Bicycle Unit, Defensive Tactics Instructor, Pistol Instructor, Alice Instructor, and most recently our Quick Response Team. During 2021, Officer Rick had to juggle his schedule between SIU and road patrol due to staffing shortages. Officer Rick has continued to perform his job in an exemplary manner, maintaining his productivity and professionalism, and is leading the way by a true example. Officer Rick has been a great asset to our field training officer program. It's for these reasons and many others, I'm proud to present Officer Jordan Rick as the 2021 Police Officer of the Year. The next award is given for the 2021 Police Service Aide of the Year. PSA Edward Bisigo was hired in 2020 and was assigned to the midnight shift for all of 2021. PSA Bisigo had came to the Madison Heights Police Department with years of experience as a police officer in the city of Hazel Park. PSA Bisigo made an immediate impact on our young and inexperienced police officers assigned to the midnight shift. PSA Bisigo volunteered to ride along with the younger officers, advised them on good police tactics, and encouraged all of their efforts. PSA Bisigo also made many suggestions to improve our police department. PSA Bisigo was well respected among his peers and was even looking to join the ranks as a police officer again. Unfortunately, PSA Bisigo passed away unexpectedly on February 19th of this year. The police department would like to honor him and his time at MHPD as the 2021 Police Service Aide of the Year. His family is here to receive the award on his behalf. The next award this evening is for the Reserve Officer of the Year for 2021, David Reedy. Mr. Reedy became an MHPD Reserve Officer in 1996. Throughout his years of service, he has demonstrated an ability to be a great leader and mentor. Reserve Officer Reedy became a field training officer and is volunteering additional time to the program to train newly sworn reserve officers. Reserve Officer Reedy is also an active and long-standing member of the Police Reserve Bicycle Unit. In 2021, Reserve Officer Reedy served approximately 155.5 hours serving our community, and consistently every year since 1996 has volunteered over 100 hours every year. Reserve Officer Reedy has always stepped up in the time of need, volunteering to work various community events such as Memorial Day Parade, Festival in the Park, and many, many public school events. Reserve Officer Reedy is an exemplary member of the Madison Heights Police Reserves, and I'm proud to award him as the Police Reserve Officer of the Year for 2021. The next group of awards will be the Departmental Commendation. This award is given to a member of the department for the performance of police-related services requiring exceptional actions or professional services to the department which has tended to further the department's progress towards attaining its goals and objectives. The first departmental commendation tonight is being awarded to Lieutenant David Kohler. Lieutenant Kohler was on duty and on road patrol when the Troy Police broadcast an armed robbery had just occurred in the area of 15 Mile and Coolidge. The city of Troy soon updated the broadcast advising that the victim of the robbery had been pistol whipped. Troy PD located the suspect vehicle in the area of I-75 and Big Beaver and began a vehicle pursuit. Lieutenant Kohler was monitoring the radio broadcast and positioned his patrol car in an area of I-75 and 14 Mile Road where he could attempt to deploy the MHPD's tire deflation device and attempt to stop the pursuit. The Troy Police Department, soon after the broadcast again that they had lost sight of the suspect vehicle. Lieutenant Kohler at that time got back into his patrol vehicle just as the suspect vehicle was traveling past him at an extremely high rate of speed. Lieutenant Kohler activated his emergency lights and sirens and attempted to catch up with the suspect vehicle. Lieutenant Kohler finally caught up to the suspect vehicle at the I-75 and I-696 interchange. The suspect vehicle continued to flee, and Officer Pace, who had also caught up to the pursuit. The suspect vehicle struck a light pole near State Fair and was disabled. Lieutenant Kohler and Officer Pace then took the suspect into custody, and they recovered the actual weapon that had been used in the crime, taking a very dangerous criminal off the streets. I'm proud to present Lieutenant Kohler with a departmental commendation for his actions during this incident.
Awesome.
The next award is a departmental commendation for Sergeant Scott Holdreth. Sergeant Holdreth received a commendation for professional excellence from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office regarding the case that he had investigated while he was part of the FBI Violent Crimes and Gangs Task Force. The award from Oakland County referenced his investigation that resulted in 14 federal search warrants being executed in multi-states and the indictment of 17 persons that are now awaiting trial in federal court. The investigation accounted for the seizure of approximately 1.6 kilograms of crystal meth, 3.5 kilograms of cocaine, 9 kilograms of 100% pure fentanyl, 1 kilogram of heroin morphine mixture, 1.25 kilograms of heroin mixed with other controlled substance, and $1 million in U.S. currency. I'm proud to award Sergeant Holdreth with this departmental commendation for his excellent work and dedication in this and many other investigations. The next three departmental commendations are awarded to Officer Edgar Miranda, Detective Gary Strongaroni, and Officer Gunther Brieger, and along with that, a Meritorious Service Award to now retired Officer Bernard Pace. On Wednesday, May 6th of 2021, MHPD dispatch received a call regarding a man with a gun at Target. The caller stated that a black male wearing a white hoodie sweatshirt entered the main doors, pulled a handgun from his hoodie pocket, and then exited the store. Officer Miranda was the first officer on scene and observed a person outside of the front door of Target matching that description. The subject had his hands near or in his waistband at that time. When the subject saw Officer Miranda, he immediately fled back into the store. Officer Miranda notified dispatch of the situation as other officers began arriving on scene. Detective Strongaroni and Officer Holdreth, while working in the Detective Bureau, heard the call came out and immediately drove to the scene to assist. Officer Miranda and Officer Brieger, assisted by other officers, began evacuating the store for safety. Officer Pace observed the male exit the building on the south side of the store with a weapon still in his hand. Officer Pace gave multiple commands for the suspect to drop the weapon and get down on the ground. The suspect continuously refused Officer Pace's commands. Officer Pace showed enormous restraint and continued to talk to the suspect and continued giving him commands to get him onto the ground, putting his own life in jeopardy. Officer Pace could have used his department-issued weapon to end the situation in order to protect human life, but Officer Pace continued to try and get the suspect to comply. Finally, after a period of what seemed like hours for Officer Pace and the rest of the officers on scene, the suspect finally obeyed the commands by them, and Detective Strongaroni, along with other detective personnel, were able to safely take the subject into custody. Officers only later would discover that the suspect was only 15 years old, had threatened other people inside the store with the weapon, which ended up being an airsoft pellet gun. This could not have been known by any of the witnesses or officers at the scene, as the gun had been altered to look like a real handgun. All the officers involved were professional and did amazing work as a team with a positive outcome. The fact that no one was hurt and the suspect was safely taken into custody is paramount. Other officers involved are also being awarded for their actions during this incident who were not able to attend this evening. Those officers are Officer Jeffrey Lewis, Officer Kirk Walker, Officer John Heinrich, Lieutenant Mike Saladke, and Sergeant Gregory Hartunian. I'm extremely proud to present retired Officer Bernard Pace with the Meritorious Service Award, which is given for services rendered in the line of duty because of due diligence and perseverance when an officer performs a difficult task in order to prevent a crime, protect life or property, apprehend criminals, or takes action which substantially furthers the goals of this department. Officer Pace fulfilled all of these categories during this incident. And I'm also very proud to present Officer Miranda and Detective Strongaroni with these departmental commendations for their actions during this incident. The final awards for this evening are certainly not the least. The next three awards are being given for life-saving. On May 31st, Police Service Aide Diamond Smither received a phone call and dispatch from a hysterical female who stated that her 61-year-old mother was unresponsive. PSA Smither was able to calmly provide the caller with CPR instructions, and she was able to redirect the caller who was having difficulty staying on task, as one can imagine. The fire department was dispatched and arrived on scene, determining that the patient was experiencing ventricular defibrillation. The patient ended up being transported to the hospital and survived, even though she had a massive heart attack. The fire department later notified us that the compressions given by the caller most likely contributed to the patient's survival. I am proud to award PSA Diamond Smither with a life-saving award for her actions during this. The next award for life-saving is awarded to former police officer Lindsay Brozich. On September 22nd, 2021, officers were dispatched to Meyer on a female sitting upright in her vehicle and not moving. Officers arrived on scene and located the female in her vehicle unresponsive. Officers were able to open the door and attempted to wake the subject up and did observe that the female had very shallow breathing and an extremely weak pulse. When waking her up was unsuccessful, Officer Brozich administered Narcan to the female. The fire department arrived on scene and the female began to wake up inside the rescue unit. The female was transported to the hospital and had admitted to snorting a large amount of heroin. I am proud to award former police officer Lindsay Brozich with a life-saving award for her actions during this incident. The final award for life-saving goes to Officer Michael Wing. On September 23rd, 2021, officers were dispatched to 32831 Stevenson Highway, the mobile station, on the call of a customer refusing to leave. Upon arrival, Officer Wing observed the suspect exiting the gas station. The male was extremely unsteady on his feet and had a difficult time maintaining his balance. The officer asked the male if he had used any drugs or alcohol, and the male admitted to drinking beer but no drug use. To keep the subject safe and due to his condition, Officer Wing placed the subject in the back of his police car and was going to transport him to Ascension Hospital for potential detox treatment. The male then became unresponsive in the back seat. Officers removed the male from the police car and placed him gently on the ground when Officer Wing checked for a pulse, which was extremely rapid, and the suspect was no longer breathing. Or the subject was no longer breathing. Officer Wing used 2 departmental-issued Narcan kits on the male. At that time, the male began breathing and gasping for air. He was turned over to the fire department to be transported to the hospital for further treatment. I am proud to award Officer Michael Wing with a life-saving award for his actions during this incident. All right, this concludes our award ceremony for this evening. I wish to thank Mayor and the City Council for allowing this time for the presentation of these much-deserved awards to some of the greatest employees I've ever worked with of our police department. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Haynes, and thank you to everybody in our department and our retired department for everything that you do for us to keep us safe. Okay, next up we have a proclamation recognizing the Madison Heights Women's Club.
The Mayor and City Council are being asked to recognize the Madison Heights Women's Club for being awarded the GFWC Club of the Year for Category 3. Whereas the Madison Heights Women's Club is an active supporter of the community activities of the General Federation of Women's Club Initiatives, which unites Michigan's women's clubs to perform service projects that enhance the lives and meet community needs. And whereas the Madison Heights Women's Club was established in 1977 and currently has 72 members that will be celebrating their 45th anniversary this year. Whereas the Madison Heights Women's Club theme is Be Generous with Your Time, Talent, Words, and Deeds, and is a thriving organization in our community. And whereas, along with many other notable awards, the Madison Heights Women's Club earned the top honor as GFWC's Club of the Year for Category 3 for their work in the community in 2021. Whereas some notable projects of the Madison Heights Women's Club in 2021 include collecting items for Common Ground human trafficking survivors and the Michigan State Police Women's ERG Project Purses for a Purpose to donate to Haven and Turning Point, collection of over 2,600 diapers with a No Child Wet Behind diaper drive benefiting the Madison Heights Food Pantry, partnering with the Madison Heights Community Coalition for You Are the Heart of the Community signs, creating a military honor tree with photo ornaments of city veterans and active military for Veterans Day, collecting hand and toe warmers to benefit Welcome In Day Center of the MLK Junior Day of Service, and collecting pet food, litter, and supplies for the Madison Heights Animal Shelter. And whereas for 2021, the Madison Heights Women's Club reported 101 projects, 4,102 volunteer hours, $835 raised, $6,543 donated and spent, and another $5,378 in in-kind contributions for their work, and continues to be an invaluable asset for the community of Madison Heights. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of the City of Madison Heights do hereby recognize the Madison Heights Women's Club for being awarded Club of the Year for Category 3 and commend them for the continued efforts on behalf of the citizens in Madison Heights and extend our best wishes on their 45th anniversary.
Okay, next up we have the Juneteenth Proclamation.
Whereas Juneteenth commemorates the traditional observance of the end of slavery in the United States and is observed annually on June the 19th. Whereas President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1983, declaring the slaves in the Confederate territory free, paving the way for passing of the 13th Amendment, which formally abolished slavery in the United States. Whereas word about signing the Emancipation Proclamation was delayed by more than 2 years, reaching African Americans in the South and the southwestern United States, when on June 19th of 1865, Union Major General Gardner announced in Galveston, Texas, that slavery had been abolished. And whereas the following year, the first official Juneteenth celebration took place in Texas and has continued in the United States ever since. Whereas the Emancipation Day observations are held on different days in different states and other parts of the nation. And whereas June the 19th has special meaning to the African Americans and is called Juneteenth, combining the words of June and 19th, and has been celebrated by the African American community for over 150 years. And whereas the annual Juneteenth celebration in the city of Madison Heights will take place at Civic Center Park on June the 18th of 2022, and we temporarily renamed the Civic Center Park as Emancipation Park for the day. Now for Mayor and City Council hereby declare June the 19th as Juneteenth in the city of Madison Heights, and urge all citizens to become more aware of the significance of this celebration in African American history and in the heritage of our nation and city.
Okay, and we're going to give the proclamation to Councilor Rohrbach because she is the Human Relations and Equity representative. And then our last presentation is the proclamation for the gun proclamation.
This proclamation declares the first Friday in June to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the city of Madison Heights to honor and remember all victims and survivors of gun violence, and to declare that we as a country must do more to reduce gun violence. Whereas every day more than 110 Americans are killed by gun violence, alongside more than 200 who are shot and wounded. On an average, there are nearly 16,000 gun homicides every year. Americans are 26 more times likely to die by gun violence than people in other high-income countries. Michigan has over 1,270 gun deaths every year, with a rate of 12.7 deaths per 100,000 people. Michigan has the 29th highest rate of gun deaths in the United States. Whereas gun homicides and assaults are concentrated in cities, and more than half of all firearm-related gun deaths in the nation occur in 127 cities. Whereas across the nation, including here in Madison Heights, we are working to end the senseless violence with evidence-based solutions. Protecting public safety in the communities they serve is the mayor's highest responsibility, and support the Second Amendment rights for law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people in dangerous histories. And whereas mayors and law enforcement officers know their communities best, are most familiar with local criminal activity and how to address it, and are best positioned to understand how to keep citizens safe. Whereas gun violence prevention is more than ever since COVID-19 pandemic continues to exacerbate gun violence after more than 2 years of increased gun sales, increased calls to suicide and domestic violence hotlines, and increased in-gun violence. And whereas in January 13th, Haida Pendleton was tragically shot and killed at age 15, and on June the 3rd, 2020, recognizes her 25th birthday. People across the United States will be recognizing National Gun Violence Awareness Day, and we encourage those to wear orange or to tribute to Haida Pendleton and the other victims of gun violence and the loved ones of those victims. And whereas the idea was inspired by a group of Haida's friends who asked their classmates to commemorate her life by wearing orange, they choose this color because hunters wear orange to announce themselves to other hunters when out in the woods, and the orange color symbolizes the value of human life. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor Grafstein of the City of Madison Heights declares the first Friday of June, which is June the 3rd, to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day. I encourage all citizens to support their local community's efforts to prevent this tragic effects of gun violence and the honor to value human lives.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have public hearings. We have one. It is the special approval PSP 22-04 for Precision Laser and Manufacturing at 31330 Stevenson Highway. Mrs. Marsh, you have a report?
Yes, the applicant Jesse Schmidt, doing business as Precision Laser and Manufacturing, requests special use approval to install an industrial paint booth inside an existing industrial building at 31330 Stevenson Highway, which is zoned M2 Heavy Industrial. This property is improved with an existing 22,000 square foot metal industrial building. The applicant does not propose any modifications to the site or building footprint as part of this special approval request. Per the project narrative, the items that are being manufactured by the applicant's business need to be painted in order to prevent rusting. The applicant proposes to use environmentally friendly water-based paint. The building plan provided by the applicant denotes 20-foot by 30-foot paint booth area inside of the existing building. Per section 10.322A, painting, varnishing, and undercoating shops are permitted within the M2 zoning district as a special use. These shops must be set back at least 75 feet from any adjacent residential districts and shall be conducted within a completely enclosed building. Note that the subject site is located within the Stevenson Highway Industrial Corridor and does not abut any residential zoning districts. The Site Plan Review Committee reviewed the special use application at their April 27th meeting, and they did not cite any concerns with this proposed use.
All right, thank you. I'm going to now open this up for public hearing, and I'm going to first ask if the owner or representative wants to say anything, speak, please.
How you doing this afternoon, I should say. It's been a long day. Thank you, City Council and Mayor Grefson. We are new to the city. We've gone through the appropriate manner to get our business license and our certification of occupation, and we are now in the process of asking for the special permit for the paint booth. It will definitely help our business grow. We're trying to hire tons of people in this operation. I'm looking to hire at least 30 by the time it's all said and done. We've got a whopping five out in the plant right now, and we're moving toward some good things. So if there's any questions about what we're trying to do, I can definitely answer those tonight.
All right, thank you. I'm now going to open this up to the public. If you have any questions, comments regarding this specific item. All right, seeing none, what is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we approve special approval PSP 22-4 for 31330 Stevenson Highway.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I'll
Councilor
support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, next up we have regular meeting open to the public. This is the opportunity for the public to address council. I ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes, give your name, address, anything that identifies you with the city, and that you direct your comments to me. And with that, meeting's open to the public.
You know, it's funny. About 2 years ago, I wore the suit, and my kids, who are 13 and 14, said, "Dad, we didn't know you owned a suit." So this is not an everyday occurrence. So, thank you, Mayor Grafstein. My name is Kevin Wright, and I live at 745 Canterbury Drive, and I'm also on the board of directors of Madison Heights Citizens United. Thank you very much for the resolution that you passed earlier, renaming Civic Center Park Emancipation Park. That's a great gesture. You're also going to be voting in a few minutes on a resolution to fly the Juneteenth flag on Juneteenth weekend at City Hall. So I'd like to encourage you to approve that measure as well to show our support of this great American holiday. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about the 2022 Madison Juneteenth celebration. As City Manager Marsh mentioned, it's going to be held on Saturday, June 18th at Civic Center Park from noon to 6 p.m. This is going to be an awesome festival that will attract visitors from across the Metro Detroit area to our city. We'll have live music featuring an amazing lineup of performers. This is the good part. It includes 2 national acts, the legendary Grammy Award-winning funk group Radio, featuring Arnell Carmichael, who I remember listening to back in the day, and the Four Horsemen, an elite group that is considered to be the greatest battle rap group of all time. We'll also have a Madison's favorite, Metro Detroit's premier R&B band, the Smoke Jones Detroit Band, Detroit's internationally acclaimed Brazil Bernard Corral, and dynamic Detroit gospel singer Diamond Page DeYampert. It's just an amazing amount of talent we're going to put on the stage, and the best part that all these concerts are absolutely free, as is admission to the festival is free, and it's free parking. We'll also have food trucks, more than 60 vendor and community resource booths, a rib contest, children's activities, crafts, and games. We're also excited this year to welcome the Buffalo Soldiers Heritage Association of Detroit to this year's festival. They will be doing recreations, reenactments, and teaching about the illustrious history of the Buffalo Soldiers, and yes, they will have their horses there. As you can see, this is going to be a tremendous celebration of freedom here in our city, and we're really excited about it. If any of our residents would like more information about the celebration, they can go to our Facebook page or our Twitter page. They're both found under Madisonites Juneteenth, or they can visit our website at MadisonHeightsJuneteenth.com. Again, that's MadisonHeightsJuneteenth.com. Has all the information, and if people want to make a donation or sign up to be a volunteer, they can also get that information on the page. Thank you again, Mayor Grafstein. We're looking forward to seeing you and all of our neighbors on June 18th at Civic Center Park.
Thank you. All right, is there anybody else who wishes to address council?
Martha Kohler, Edward Avenue. Councilwoman Toya Aaron put on a mental health speech tonight with Mary Bush. I was a little leery about going. This was actually awakening. It was very, I don't even have the right word for it. It was,
Illuminating.
we need to do this more often. This brought so many things to so many people that even the people sitting in the room learned from you. They learned from Mary. I think that's awesome. I just wish there's something council could do to bring these more often so people could learn, because there are people such as myself who have hair triggers that are trying to work on those. I got some ideas today. It's awesome. Just want to say thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else want to address council this evening? They're loud.
Vita Palazzolo, 2628659 Jenner. Thank you guys. What a wonderful night tonight. I just love our city, and our police department is just bar none incredible. So what a wonderful night. And I want to thank these and some that left, the ladies from the Women's Club, as a volunteer for the food pantry and also the vice president on the board. I thank you for all the diapers. I mean, incredible, just incredible. And thank you. Toya, thank you. Mental Health Awareness Month, it should be, take the word month off of it. We should just have mental health awareness, period. And like we said in there, let's do this more often. We learned a lot today in a short hour and a half, not even. And, to hear people share their personal stories, one by one, just encourage somebody else to talk. So, and also Toya's son, having him on the coalition and things he's doing at 15 years old, 16 years old. 13. Oh my gosh, jeez. the things I did at 13. But to watch him grow and, you know, be a part of that. So you're, you know, leave a legacy. Good job. And I hate to leave this on a negative note, but the disc golf people are going to really hate me. I love that there's a course. I love that we have that available. But some of the spots where the goal, I don't know what you call those, where they throw the disc into, the goal, I guess. I like to sit at Rosie's Park, in the back park, where the back of the houses are off of Gardenia. And I was there a few weeks back, and some people were, of course, playing the chorus, and they looked at me and said, "Can you just scooch back a little bit, please? We're a little uncomfortable." And I just went, okay, I was just trying to read a book, which was nice of them. I appreciate that. But a lot of these people that threw their disc were destroying some of the trees and the beautiful branches, and we're like Tree America. I saw our award on the wall. I know Emily is a big proponent to get trees planted, and then they just walked away and left, you know, a few branches on the ground and continued to play. I don't know. I just felt the need to say that. It's been bugging me for a few weeks. So, you know, I mean, pros and cons. You got them everywhere. So that's it. And thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening? No? All right. Then I am going to close public comment. And next up, we have 3 reports. First up is from the Finance Director, resolution to establish Michigan Class, MI Class, as an approved depository for investment funds. Mrs. Marsh?
Yes, the City Council is being requested to approve a resolution to establish Michigan Class as an approved depository for the investing of the proceeds from our recent $6.5 million bond issuance for the Civic Center project. Earnings from this investment are estimated to generate $48,730, which will be spent on the bond project.
All right. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we approve this resolution to establish Michigan Class as an approved depository for investment funds.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I support.
Councilman Nora? Okay. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no.
Your Honor, I'd like
That's right.
to abstain from this vote.
Okay. All right. Is there any other discussion? Okay. Please note that Councilor Wright is abstaining from this vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, what did you say? I thought you said you were abstaining.
I did. I'm sorry, did I just automatically? I'm abstaining. I'm completely abstaining.
Okay, please let the record show that Councilor Wright has abstained and the motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Next up from City Manager, the Pride Flag Resolution.
City Council is being requested to display the Pride flag outside of City Hall for the entire month of June.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilor Rohrbach?
I move that council approves the raising of the Pride flag outside of Madison Heights City Hall for the month of June.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Councilor Wright?
support.
Thank you. A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I just want to point out to the public, there was a Supreme Court case, Shurtleff versus Boston, that is kind of changing what types of flags we can fly and when. Cities around us are also kind of adapting to this change. I'll be voting yes tonight, but we need to monitor what that legal opinion does. We do not want to risk our city getting into a lawsuit in coming years. So I know our legal team has been on it. I expect us to have a closed session sometime between now and next year for us to identify what we're going to do going forward. And hopefully we'll see a little bit of progress as it goes further up the chain. But, you know, as everybody who knows, we're the bottom of the governmental food chain. So we we kind of just get told what to do, and we get kicked a lot when we're down. So there might not be a lot that we can do, but yeah, I just want everybody to know that if this is a thing that we cannot keep doing, it's not because of this council, it is because of the Supreme Court ruling and how it pushed down. And that'll be the same for the next item that we'll talk about as well. But I will be voting yes today, but I do expect us to continue to monitor this situation, and it may not be the case going forward.
All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries 6-0. Next up, resolution for the Juneteenth flag. Mrs. Marsh?
Yes, City Council is being requested to display the Juneteenth flag outside City Hall from June the 17th to June the 20th. So that actually will replace the LGBTQ flag for the weekend.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilor Wright?
I'd like to make a motion to fly the Juneteenth flag from June 17th, 2022 through June 20th, 2022.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Councilor
I'll
Rohrbach?
support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Please.
as per the same reasons that Councilman Bliss had for the pride flag, I feel the same way regarding the Juneteenth flag. I will be voting yes this time, but we will need further discussions to further move this along.
All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Next up, we have ordinances from the CED Director, Ordinance 2182, the zoning text amendment 22-01, the mobile vendor or the food trucks. Second reading. Mrs. Marsh?
This proposed ordinance applies to mobile food vending on private property within the city. This would exclude food vending that operates under a special events permit. This creates three district approval process. First, a mobile food site approval. Second, mobile food court approval. And third, mobile food vendor certificate of occupancy. In accordance with this ordinance, before a property could allow a mobile food truck vendor to operate on their property, the owner would need to submit a site plan approved for each mobile food site that they intend to operate. In addition, when a mobile food truck vendor wishes to locate to this site as an accessory use, the mobile vendor would need to submit for a certificate of occupancy. This ordinance also allows for mobile food truck courts as a principal use. This would require special use approval through City Council and a site plan approval. Food trucks located in the court would require a mobile food truck certificate of occupancies. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on the proposed text amendment at their April 19th meeting, and after the public hearing, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the proposed amendments with minor modifications. These modifications have been incorporated into this for council review. Therefore, staff recommends that City Council approve Ordinance 2182 mobile food vendors on the second and final reading.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we adopt Ordinance 2182 on second and final reading.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Soltis?
support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Please.
I just want to let the public know kind of, I guess, the behind the scenes, behind the curtain, how the sausage was made here, because it's really, really interesting. And I use that example because sausage will potentially be made in the city in these food trucks that we're now allowing to come in. What was really great about this process as we went through the Planning Commission was basically this ordinance was broken into, I think, 7 or 8 key areas. Where they can go, how long they can operate, what they're able to do, where they're able to go, where they can park, all these little intricacies. And instead of just debating up or down on the ordinance itself, our city staff took the time to basically create a choose your own adventure for our Planning Commission to basically debate every one of those main bullets and all the varied options. So that gave us an incredible ordinance, which I think will be a nice test run for us as we determine the viability and really what unintended consequences might happen as food trucks come into our city and set up for potentially hundreds of days during the year. But I want everybody to know that as we test this out, it was very well thought out and debated by our incredible planning commission for, gosh, a couple hours. And that's after staff put in, probably 10, 20 hours easy crafting it all together. So long story short, I want to thank everybody that put in their time and effort to craft this amazing ordinance. And I'm frankly excited for the future of the city, not just because we're able to pass this ordinance, hopefully I will be supporting it, but also because we have such incredible people helping to drive the city forward on big issues like this.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Next up, we have the meeting minutes from April 11th, May 9th. Those are two special meetings, and then the regular meeting of May 9th. Can I get a motion from council to approve, please?
Your Honor,
Councilor Rohrbach?
I move that we approve special city council meeting minutes from April 11th, special city council meeting minutes from May 9th, and the regular city council meeting minutes of May 9th of 2022.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. And that concludes our regular business. I now invite closing comments, starting with Councilwoman Aaron.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to first say congratulations to all the officers who received their commendations tonight. I want them all to know that their work does not go unnoticed, and we totally appreciate everything that they do for the city of Madison Heights. Also, happy anniversary to the Madison Heights Women's Club, 45 years. I was just a little baby when you guys established your committee, but I know. But please let me know when you all are having a celebration. I would love to attend, and I will bring a treat. Also, today would have been my paternal grandmother's, I believe, 105th or 7th birthday. And my grandma died when she was 93 years old. They told my grandma at 55 that she was gonna need a triple bypass. My grandma said, no, I'm leaving this earth with everything that I came in the earth with. She took her medication, and my grandma had her first and only heart attack at 93 years old when she passed. And what she always said to me is, Toya, I want you to be the best you can ever be, and people are gonna know your name. And I hope that I am living the life that my grandma would be pleased of. And then finally, tonight, we had about an hour and 20-minute discussion on mental health with a wonderful panel. We had Dr. Mary Seegers, who is a wellness coach. She conducts Wisdom Wednesdays on her podcast. Latricia Rice, who is a mind coach. She also has her own therapy center called Royal Clarity. And she's also a social worker. And then one of our neighbors, Mary Bush, who is a retired vocational rehabilitation coach who helped people with psychological issues and who is also a consumer herself. This discussion opened up a lot of information for everyone. I was really impressed for it to be our first meeting that so many people opened up and received the information that was brought to them. And there were some apprehension about my panel, but yet it was received very well, and I'm grateful for those that came and for those that received. And, everyone was saying we need to do this more often. Although May is mental health awareness, mental health goes beyond the month of May. So we need to have some type of panel discussion where we would consistently support one another and talk about things. I keep saying, let's move from awareness to action. And that's where I want to go with this. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Council. Mr. Bliss?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. First up, Councilwoman Aaron, your grandmother would definitely be proud, so need to make sure I say that. Second, congratulations again to all of the officers, everyone who were congratulated. As the audience was sitting and listening to all of those stories, you could see their faces, you know, a little bit of awe, some excitement, a ton of appreciation. But what hits me is that's the tip of the iceberg. You know, what our officers deal with on a daily basis. I mean, that's kind of like a highlight reel. From, you know, it's like the 30-second highlight reel of an entire basketball game, right? And so, you know, the appreciation, I hope, just doesn't stop with the awards and the accommodations tonight. I just encourage everybody watching, everybody here, you know, send a note to the PD. They love sweets too, if anybody's interested in making some sweets. But you know, just some appreciation sending their way. And I'd also like to appreciate the Women's Club. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the 45 years. The Women's Club has been around longer than I have. So I've grown up with the Women's Club always a part of this city. And when they say incredibly generous with their time, talent, words, and deeds, I've seen that firsthand for my life, and I feel blessed they're in our city and blessed that we as a council can rely on the club to be able to help us provide things to this community that we just couldn't without you. So thank you. I also want to bring up, I have a prop today. I found this in my mailbox in the back, and I have to bring it up. You've heard a lot through the years of us, you know, up here, members of council, talking about how it's important for us to listen and learn for what other communities are doing. This is a great example of being the community that people are listening and learning from. And I'm stoked about it. So this is the MML, the Michigan Municipal League Review magazine. And inside it is this entire write-up about trail tunes. And it really highlights to those communities out there that when there's a setback, when there's something, you know, like, you know, a global pandemic that stops people from getting together, if the community is a little bit creative and they have incredible volunteers like we have on the Arts Board, you can still make some amazing things happen. And so really excited for this. We'll find a way to, I don't know if there's an online version, but we'll find a way to get that out and, you know, push the appropriate thanks to everybody who, you know, donated their time, effort, their money to be able to make that event happen the last couple of years, despite circumstances beyond our control. Finally, I want to say that the next meeting isn't until the 13th, which will miss my 15th wedding anniversary. So I need to give a shout out to my amazing wife who allows me to be here on so many nights and occasions while she's taking care of the 3 kids that God seems to think that we can handle. So if you know her and she's on Facebook and you're connected with her, shoot her over a message thanking her and congratulating her for dealing with me for 15 years of wedded bliss. That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilor Wright?
Your Honor, I would first just like to congratulate the recipients of the awards with the Madison Heights Police Department. Those awards were earned. They weren't given. Everything that we heard today was an example, a shining example of just a little bit of the things that they deal with on a regular basis. So I was very proud and happy to just hear more of their stories about them talking to people. You know, I was raised by a single mother, and I remember being 15, and I thank God when I hear stories about how the officers were able to talk that young man to surrender rather than shooting first, because we hear a lot of stories where that is not the case. So I want to give kudos to our police department for being an example of the right way to interact with the public. Also wanted to congratulate the Women's Club for 45 years. I too, I'm under the 45 mark, but I see everything that you guys do in this community. It's all fantastic, and I thank you for being that to the community, being that example for my little daughters to look up to see how to give back and how to do community service. So thank you guys for all the things you do for the community. Kevin came up and highlighted the Juneteenth, and I believe he said it's the Madison Heights Juneteenth. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on Instagram. This is going to be another fantastic year for this event, another opportunity for this community to come together. The thing that we've always said about this is a celebration of freedom, American freedom, freedom for all. It's connected to the 4th of July, and it's an opportunity for us to come together as a community, and everyone should feel welcome to come out and be a part of it. I sat in on the Adult Active Board last week, and the feedback that they gave me from that meeting, I wanted to share with you guys because I really got an idea of how much this community means to them and how much the Adult Active Center means to them. It means a lot. It means everything. And I just want for the folks in the audience and the folks listening to know, like, we hear you, and we're gonna make sure that this doesn't disappoint and that you guys are excited about what's to come with that. So I know Melissa works incredibly hard to keep everything balanced, to make sure that everything is as best as it can be, and I know our city staff does a fantastic job, so we're not gonna let you guys down, and we hear you. I also wanted to talk about mental health. So I'm married to a clinician. I believe that we need to take the stigma out of mental health. Stop making it about an extreme, about somebody on the verge of something, somebody who has an illness. We all have to address and deal with our mental health every day. We all have stressful jobs. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a financial advisor by trade, I serve on city council. Life is stressful for us all, and we cannot make it about other people. We have to first recognize that we all have mental health, and it needs to be addressed. So please go to Psychology Today and look up psychologists. Go to I said it last time, the Calm app. You can find resources, but just know mental health is just like physical health. It has to be addressed, otherwise it will build up, and you will snap, and it'll be on the wrong person. It'll be on the person who's taking your order at McDonald's when they don't give you ice in your cup. So that was a joke. It didn't land well. But the point is, it'll be at the wrong moment. And so, but mental health is important, and I agree. And I think as a city council, I want to challenge us to work together to do something, and us all do something, because it seems to be something we all think is important. So I think we should all work together to see what we can do, because, you know, you'd be surprised what you can get done when nobody cares who gets the credit. So let's all work together. Let's all try and make sure this goes beyond just this month, because mental health is critically important. It kind of takes me to the last thing I wanted to touch on, and I've been struggling because I've been trying to find the right words. There was a terrorist attack that took place in Buffalo, New York, where someone decided that they believed so strongly in their views that they needed to take action. And those actions resulted in the deaths of folks who did not deserve to die that day. And the only reason they died that day was because they looked different. And as a person of color in this community, I can't tell you how I can understand how it feels to look different, and how it is something that you have to deal with. It is something that we have to recognize, that we can see each other as equals, we can see each other as peers, but we are different. I am a black man, Mark is a white man, Toya is a black woman, and we can love each other equally, we can see each other equally, but we are different, and we have to learn to love and embrace and respect those differences and not see them as divisive things. June 14th, 2020, I made a comment about there being white supremacy in the city. I didn't call everyone in the city racist. I didn't say everyone in the city was racist. I said that there is some white supremacy in the city. That was my whole point. And I think that the reason why I bring that up today is because we have to understand what that really means, what it means to be different, what it means to be a minority, and how it impacts your life, how it impacts your surrounding community. And we have to find a way to blend in all these complex topics in a way in which we can be productive about it. So God bless those families that lost their loved ones. God bless those souls that left this earth. as I always say, if we can't do anything else, or you don't remember anything else I said, just remember to be kind.
All right, thank you. Anything from the attorney?
Yes, very briefly. I'm pleased to report that after a long and arduous legal battle, 901 East 10 Mile Road is, that building is down on the ground. It's been demolished. And the next step will be 945, 959. So, congrats to everyone in the city, everyone in the city government. We worked as a team to achieve this goal. It wasn't easy, but we've done it. Thank you.
First of all, I want to remind everybody that starting on June the 13th, so that's our next regular council meeting, this meeting's going to be held at Fire Station 1, so don't show up in City Council's chambers. And that is probably going to be until the end of the year when the renovation is going to be complete just for the City Hall. So the renovation project is actually starting down the long hallway, and all of the departments that you're used to seeing, such as the clerk's office, finance, CED, will actually be located either in the room as you're walking down the hallway here or in this room itself. So we're going to work with it the best we can, so the council meetings and all the other meetings, so if you're on a board and commission, those other meetings that are normally held in here, such as planning commission, ZBA, those are going to be in Fire Station 1 in their training room. So bear with us while we suffer through that from July until hopefully December. Other than that, I want to congratulate the members of the police department. We always have an amazing department. When we went through the accreditation, I know I was asked what one adjective would I use to describe the department, and it's reliable. I don't ever feel like I have to sit up and watch the news to make sure Madison Heights isn't on it, and that's because of the great men and women that we have in that department. So congratulations to them. And congratulations also to the Women's Club. I know I can depend on you guys. Anytime I need anything, I can just contact someone from the Women's Club, and you guys are always there to deliver, and I very much appreciate the entire group, of which I'm a member, but a very poor one because I don't ever attend. But it's not because I don't respect everything that you do. And last but certainly not least, I can't believe it's already the end of May, but this upcoming Saturday is going to be our Memorial Day celebration, and it starts at 10 o'clock. We are not having a parade this year, but we are still having a celebration, so please come out and remember those who have given their lives for this wonderful country. And the tree that the Women's Club actually created is in our lobby and is going to be there for the rest of the month, so I encourage you to stop by and see that tree. It is beautiful, and I'm very proud of it. Some of my family members are displayed, and it made their day. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Anything from the clerk's office this evening?
Just a couple things. The applications for the elections are out to all those that are on the permanent absentee list. They're red, white, and blue. So if you get those, make sure you can fill them out and turn them into the clerk's office. You can drop them into the drop box, mail them in, or just drop them at our counter. Please be sure to pick on there the elections that you would like to get a ballot for. Your choices are both August and November, or one or the other. I was reminded that this is my 8-year anniversary at the city, which is the longest I've been employed in one single entity. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the nice place to work. I appreciate it. And also, thank you to the Women's Club, who always remembers the clerk's office on election day with a nice basket to keep us going through those long hours.
Thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
Yeah, I continue to add to my notes, and so rather than repeat everything all of you wonderful people have said, I will try and condense what I'm talking about tonight. But I do want to say thank you to our police department and our officers and everyone who is honored tonight and everyone who works day in, day out with our police department. You save lives, you keep people safe, you keep our community good and safe, and we appreciate you. I want to say thank you to the Women's Club for everything you do. Just really wonderful. I did come to one thing once, and I was like, "Oh, this is great," and I can't do one more thing. So I do appreciate everything that you all do. Thank you so much. I want to mention that the Parks and Rec Advisory Board has a weekly event on Tuesdays called Treads on Tuesdays, and it is a wonderful walking club. Anybody is welcome to join and walk. They rotate at different parks in our city every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. during the summertime, and everyone is welcome. It is especially wonderful for my mental health to get outside and walk and to be with others, and so please take this opportunity. This week, Treads on Tuesdays is meeting at the Nature Center to walk in the beautiful George Suarez Friendship Woods. Next, I want to mention that the Madison Heights Arts Board and the Human Relations and Equity Commission is sponsoring along and planning along with a number of community members a Madison Heights Arts and Pride picnic on June 11th at 4 p.m. at Civic Center Park. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm on the text thread where they're planning it, and they have so many great things planned, activities and food trucks and all kinds of things. And that takes me to the idea that this month is really busy. we start with the Memorial Day celebration on Saturday, or on the 28th, and then we have Wear Orange Day on June 3rd. June 11th is Arts and Pride. June 18th is Juneteenth. June 26th is the Festival in the Park. We're going to have a lot of togetherness, and I hope you guys are ready. I am really looking forward to doing it. And finally, I want to say thank you to my fellow council members for voting to add the Gun Violence Awareness Day proclamation. Today, actually, it brought it into stark reality for me today, because today was the second time this school year that my kid's school has been canceled because of a threat to the school. And you know, after the events of Buffalo, the tragic hate crime that happened there, Oxford earlier this year, the children who were killed. You know, my kid's school is a K through 8 school. They go to Four Corners Montessori right now. And I don't know the details, but what I do know is that our police department was contacted immediately when it was reported that this threat was made, and they did a thorough investigation, and they're going to be on site throughout the next several days just to keep an eye on things and keep everybody feeling good. But what is terrifying as a mother of 3 young children, ages 10, 8, and 8, is the thought of sending my children anywhere, you know, and not just out of my sight, because it could happen in my sight, because gun violence comes to you sometimes. One of my family's dearest friends was an 85-year-old woman who was killed by gun violence in her own home. Somebody tried to steal her medication, and it came into her home, and she was killed earlier this year. Just the terror that comes over me sometimes when I think about this is hard to describe. But in addition to gun violence, the suicide that comes from guns, the just general terror that comes into our communities when people take guns and they use them for nefarious purposes, there has to be a better way. And I encourage everyone to think deeply about how they can help to prevent gun violence in their own communities, in their own homes, in their own worlds, however that they can. Be kind, listen to people, seek mental health care wherever needed, and on June 3rd, wear orange to remember and to advocate to reduce gun violence wherever we can. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Soltis.
Thank you, Your Honor. You said 15 years, Mark, with your wife? I'm
Yep.
kind of I'm complaining knowing you after 9. That's all right. Just kidding. So our officers are nothing short of spectacular, obviously. I really got to know them over the years. In fact, they did numerous ride-alongs. I remember doing this one ride-along where, you know, they picked me up and they were gonna go look for a very bad guy. All of a sudden they get the call, right? And they said, it's going down right now. So I'm getting a little adrenaline rush. As they race down the road, they're on the side of the road driving across the median, and then they get to the area where they're going to arrest this guy, and they said, do you want to come with us? I said, no, I'll sit in the car, thanks. And they had one of those door ramps, ramming, and pow, the door goes in, right? And so they're in there for a while, and then they come out with the guy they were trying to apprehend. So I mean, it's again, it's nothing short of spectacular. We all have the utmost respect for our officers, and they deserve all the credit. On another note, I was speaking to a few seniors here in Madison Heights, and they informed me that they are in need. They told me that with the increased cost of living, they can't afford the property taxes combined with huge increases in prescription drugs. She was telling me as she was trying to hide back her tears, which was tragic and sad. I think we need Lansing to pay more particular attention to these real issues. We need a loud voice in the Capitol to help our seniors with what to me seems to be life and death scenarios. Because she was mentioning about insulin, which you can't go without. Prior to COVID, each year I rented like a bus, and we took a bus up to Lansing. It was an older Michiganian day, and so I think it was 6 years that we went. The one time the chief went with me too. That was a time where we were able to talk with the legislators as a community. I mean, it was everybody from the state of Michigan. There was a senior that was on the front lawn. I always said, even back then, 9 years ago, that we need to honor our seniors. When I first got elected, that did all the work for us. You know, they made our future, and we really need to repay them in kind. In terms of on the new sausage truck, I grew up with Polish grandparents, and I grew up with Italians on one side and the other. So I've known Italian sausage with pasta, and then I know the sausage with sauerkraut. But you know, since they've all passed, I can admit that I don't eat that anymore. So, but you can if you like. That's fine. And congratulations to the Women's Club. You're a fantastic, wonderful group with wonderful women in the community. Just ask them about, if you remember when they auctioned off Brian Hartwell and myself. Of course, I received more donations but who's counting? I think there's pictures out there somewhere, but I hope they don't surface. Margene, please. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Soltis. Okay, so a lot of things have been covered. I too would like to thank the police for everything that they do, and I would like to thank the Women's Club. And yes, I am a member, and I was at a meeting a couple of months ago, but life keeps getting in the way. So when I can, I do show up. I do want to mention a couple of other things that are coming up. Memorial Day is this weekend, and then at the end of June, we've got the festival. The festival is back, complete with fireworks. That is June 26th. It is the Sunday. We also are doing the citywide garage sale again. That is June 11th, and then we are doing the bike rodeo also on June 11th. And so for the bike rodeo, the first 200 kids who come, 12 and under, are going to get free helmets. All right, so lots of stuff coming up. It seems that we have 4 events in the city just in June. You know, we sat around doing nothing all, 5 if you count Memorial Day, which is, I guess, technically in May. So we just sat around inside, and now it's getting warm, and we are able to get out. So I encourage everybody to get out and to be around people as much as you are comfortable and as much as it is safe. I do want to touch on a couple of things, and that is, I would like to mention about the mental health. I'd like to thank Councilwoman Aaron for hosting this event this evening. She mentioned it to me a couple of weeks ago, I think right after the last meeting, and I said that I would do anything I could to help her promote it, or, you know, if we need the information. I said, I'm concerned that no one's going to come, or not many people will come, because there was so little notice. So I'm really happy to hear that even with such short notice, you did something. And I think this, you know, what she did is really important. So the comment was made tonight that we need to do more educational programs. I didn't know if that was specifically about mental health or just in general, but I'm going to agree with both. I think we do need to have a lot more outreach with mental health, but we need to do a lot more small programs like this. I think there should be more than 2 weeks notice, but I think that, you know, the idea was great, and I think we need to have more small events like this, you know, just bringing in experts to talk about whatever it is. You know, we have so many things that are going on that are the large scale, but what about the small scale? What about the little bit of education about this or about that? Yesterday I was at the Islamic Center. I don't even know, a lot of people don't even know we have an Islamic Center right here in the city. And I have to say, as a Jewish person, I have always felt so welcome there. And they are open to the community. So they welcomed me again yesterday. It was wonderful to be there. And before that, I was at the Chinese Cultural Center, which again, I don't know how many people even know that we have that in the city. And that again is also a really great resource that we have. And one of the things that happened with the Islamic Center is, was it last month with Ramadan, there was a concern because there are people who, you know, just like people don't like someone because of the color of their skin, there are people who don't like someone, you know, because of their religion. And they reached out to me because they wanted extra protection. And we, you know, absolutely, of course, you know, and the chief was on it like that, you know, because that's what we do. We take care of our own, which is everybody. And so, you know, it was really nice to hear from him that, you know, that the police were there and that they felt so much safer with that. Last year when we had the situation, not in Madison Heights, but with the Asian community, again, you know, police chief, I'm going in tomorrow, will you come with me? Without a thought, of course he's going to come in, and he participated in a program that they had. And I think it would be great if we could get more people in the city who, you know, were participating in these. It's great that we have the police, it's great that we have me, but it would be great to see more people working on these things. You know, and we have all these different resources. With respect to mental health, about 26% of the population suffers from a mental health illness. And I want to be very clear, I'm not talking about self-care. I'm not talking about, wow, I had a bad day, I need to let off some steam, maybe go for a walk. I'm talking about mental illness, people who are so depressed that they can't get out of bed, they can't wash themselves, they're barely eating, and there's absolutely no reason in their life that they should be doing that, except that there's something going on in their brain. People who have an anxiety that is just so overwhelming, not just the normal, oh, I'm a little bit concerned about doing it, but they're so overwhelmed they can't speak and they can't function. I'm talking about someone who is schizophrenic, someone who is bipolar, someone who it doesn't matter what you say or do, they need professional care. And you know, I really think that we need to be addressing what can we do, and unfortunately at a local level there's very little that we can do. We can try and find resources, but I had a mother who sent me an email, and she said, what did she say here? Keep an eye out for the kids for any mental health issues or illnesses. It doesn't always show up until late. A lot of it's because of COVID, family issues, maybe even bullying, and you need to get help because they aren't taken seriously. It's when they end up in the emergency room that they are taken seriously, but there aren't enough facilities with enough beds. So kids are stuck waiting days and even weeks for them to open up, and the hospitals will only keep them overnight if they have tried to commit suicide more than once or self-harm themselves. If they have only done it once, they will be told that they need to find outpatient and sent home. So this is from a resident who sent this to me you know, a few weeks ago. And I think this is where we need to treat this as a serious illness, and if you try talking to any of us, we're going to say it's not a local issue, there's only so much we can do. If you go to other levels of government, they will try and send you to the right places, but the bottom line is we need more people who are doing this. Everybody is understaffed. So I would say if anyone is looking for some kind of a career choice, if anybody wants to do something, get into the mental health field because there's a lot of need there. There's a huge need there. Every 6 hours, someone in Michigan dies because of suicide. Every 6 hours. We've been here for just over an hour. When we wake up in the morning, 1 or 2 more people will have died because of suicide. So just keep that in mind. Councilwoman Aaron, I would love, I don't think we needed yet another committee because we have so many, but if we could set up some kind of, I don't know how often, but some kind of something, some kind of educational on this. I would like to do it with, more than 2 weeks' notice, but I would be happy to help you set that up because I think that we really do have a need for that. And with respect to the flag policy, because of changes in the court system, I think that we really do need to have some kind of a policy in place. I don't know why we're sitting here and saying we want to do this in the next month. We should have some kind of calendar about what are the different events that we want to celebrate or bring awareness to. And we should just be saying, okay, in January it's this, in February, March, April, whatever it is, so that we're not sitting here doing this every month as it seems to work out that way. Our next meeting is going to be June 13th. It will not be here. It will be across the parking lot at the fire station. The time is now 8:55. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. What, June 1st is your birthday? Oh.